Hey everyone, it's day one. It's the Fall in Love with Selling Challenge. I am grateful and thankful that you said yes to this. It is my duty here, my desire to have you walk away from this feeling hopeful and excited about this area of life. That is my greatest desire and outcome for this. So just going to lay out how this is going to work. I am going to dive into topics every day. I'm going to ask you a question at the end. I want you to share your answers in the group. If you are stuck on something I'm asking you to respond to, just show up and engage in some way. Just say, I'm stuck on this. You can engage anyhow you want. There are no rules. There's no challenge Nazi. If you get behind a few days, that's okay. There's gonna be plenty of time at the end to catch up. Just keep showing up, okay? And at the end, I will have like a group call where we can get clarity more. You can ask questions at places that you're unsure of, things I've taught here. You can share what your greatest problems are in the sales process for you and get my opinions on it. This will be a really fun time. So if you engage every day, you can come to that. And all I'm going to ask of you is you to email me at the end and say, I engaged every day in some way. I trust you. That's it. That's all. It's pretty simple. So basically, in order for you to fall in love with selling, what I think needs to happen is a huge perspective shift has to happen. Because if we come to this area with all the baggage, with all the feelings that we believe about this area of life, it's not going to seem very fun. So I'm going to start out with a little analogy. I'm going to talk about Tupperware, okay? Because when I grow and I need a food storage container, I say, can you hand me the Tupperware? Now, Tupperware is a brand name. It is not actually the item itself. It is simply a brand name. They've done such a good job branding that all we think of when we think of food storage container, kind of cumbersome to say, we think Tupperware. So how does this pertain to selling? Well, I'm just saying this to show you that when you think selling, you think of the culture's definition that they've overlaid on it. They've branded with it. It is not what the essence of selling is. I'm here to tell you it's not. And it is something totally different. So we're coming to the table thinking of it as a anything goes kind of area, that the bottom line is money. And when the bottom line is money, that means that you can do anything to get that bottom line. You can lie, manipulate in a mean way, sell this, but actually give this in the end, sort of a trickery thing. All this comes into play when that's the bottom line. And I want to show how selling is something way more magical than that. And I am just going to share that I did a little math, which was pretty fun, and this is a safe number. This isn't a high-blown, exaggerated number, but I have had over 500,000 sales exchanges with people. And what I mean by that is 500,000 interactions with people where I'm like, hey, this is what I have. You want to buy it? That's very simplistic, but you get what I'm saying. 500,000 exchanges where I've actually been selling something to somebody. So what I'm sharing here comes from a lot of experience, comes from a lot of hard work. So it's not just idealistic hoopla or something, okay? So I want to talk about belief. That is the main thing we're talking about here today. Belief. What is it that we really believe in? It's very important to get clear, because what we believe in is what we are selling, okay? What we believe in, that is what we're selling. That's what's being sold to everywhere. It's the underlying belief that we're buying when we buy something. This is true, okay? So it's really important for us to get clear. So I'm going to walk you through a little process of my own journey of getting clear about what it is I believe in, and living a life where I measure things up against that, particularly in the sales process. So I, was coming of age maybe 20 years ago, a little over, where I was leaving my family's nest and had to go off into the world and go to college. And I was like, I felt very unprepared and looked around at the adults around me and was like very depressed. I did not see examples of what adulthood looked like to me that felt inspiring or hopeful, or like I wanted to become that. That was very scary for me, and I had a very conscious thought process that was like, wow, well, if that's all there is, if I find out that this is all there is to life, what I'm seeing, then I can always opt out. At the time, that was a very relieving thought and an impetus in me to pursue, to take chances, to find out what more there was to life. Is there something more to life than this? This can't be it. So I spent a life exploring, journeying, pursuing what will and could light me up. And I have come to certain beliefs that when I embody them, they make me feel inspired and want to live, and like it's all worth it, and joyful. And so what these beliefs are that people are essentially good, that the universe is essentially benevolent, that we all as humans want the same things in life. We want friendship, air we can breathe, our children to grow up happy and safe. We all want this. So these are challenging things for me to believe in sometimes. I can come up upon situations every day that challenge this belief, that prove up front. If I were to look at the exterior of things, just the surface, if I look at the surface and that's all I see and I react to, the surface of things proves all those things wrong every day. And so I have to look inside and really decide if I believe that all the time when I'm faced with actual real life situations. And as I come to the table saying yes, things sort of morph and shift around me to prove out I have to take the leap of faith first, okay? And I've had enough proof now that it's gotten easier and easier. But how we can get to knowing what these beliefs are is like, what makes you feel like you want to live? What makes you feel like you want to bring children into this world? What makes you feel like you don't? What makes you feel uninspired? What makes you feel like, gosh, if that were the truth of life, I'd probably rather opt out? What are those things? You can weigh them against each other to find out what your core beliefs are. What is it that's worth living for you? This is what you bring to the table when you're selling. It's very simple, but it takes work. It takes conscious effort to show up to that table and constantly, show up and do the work of looking at where I'm coming from, aligning with this belief. And a lot of times we're going to look and see that it isn't and have to make shifts. And this is just ongoing. It's going to go on and on and on and on. And I want you to learn to have fun with that process, to thank this process for being there, to give you the opportunity to do that. What a great thing. This is one of the joys I get out of selling. It helps me get in touch with what I believe in every time I engage with other people. It's so cool. Okay? Now, if you're not all the way there yet, you're not sold yet on this, you're just start. I want you to share in this group, what is your bottom line belief about life? Just one thing. You don't have to write a whole thesis. Just share something that inspires you to live, that inspires you to do the work you do, a belief about life that you hold dear, that you want to embody. Okay, just share that in the group. It'll be so fun to read each other's and be inspired by each other and see where it is we're really coming from, right? Okay, I will see you I'll see you tomorrow, and I'll see you in the group. Thanks so much.